Hello there. Welcome to a very special episode of Electric Sheep. This is made for my dad. This is a late Christmas present, very late now. This will also be my 300th video. So let's stop with the intro. This story is titled For My Father.
For my father. The fire crackled in the great hall of Arlendia's royal palace, casting flickering shadows on the stone walls. Two knights, Sir Alden and Sir Gregor, sat near the towering fireplace, enjoying a rare moment of rest after a day of training. The massive hearth, with its intricate stonework, dominated the room, a silent testament to the kingdom's storied past. Sir Alden leaned back in his chair, gesturing toward the fireplace. You know, Gregor, that hearth tells a tale as great as any we've fought for. Gregor raised an eyebrow. The fireplace? What tale could bricks and mortar tell? Alden smiled, taking a sip of his ale. Ah, you're too young to know. Let me tell you about King Richard and his sons, Rick and Joe. Gregor leaned in, intrigued. Years ago, Alden began, before Richard wore the crown, he was a humble bricklayer. The best in the land, they say. His hands built much of this very castle, walls strong enough to withstand any siege, arches that seemed to defy gravity. But more than that, he built trust, respect, and a reputation for integrity. And his sons? Gregor asked. Rick, the elder, Alden said, was clever and ambitious, always looking to the horizon. It was he who first suggested Richard be made king. When the old king died without an heir, the council was in disarray. Rick stepped forward and said, Who better to lead than a man who has spent his life building, not destroying? A man who knows the value of honest work. His words carried the day, and Richard, reluctant as he was, took the throne. And Joe? Joe was different, Alden said, his voice softer. Quiet, steady, and deeply loyal. He learned his father's craft, not for ambition, but for the love of it. While Rick helped his father rise to greatness, Joe stayed true to their roots, carrying on the lessons Richard had taught him as a mason. Gregor glanced at the fireplace. And this hearth? Ah, that was Joe's work, Alden said, his eyes gleaming. Years into Richard's reign, when the kingdom had prospered under his rule, Joe decided to honor his father, not as a king, but as the man who had taught him to build. He crafted this fireplace with his own hands, each brick laid with the same care Richard had taught him. Alden leaned forward, pointing to a bronze plate embedded in the hearth. Look closely, Gregor. Read the words. Gregor stood and approached the fireplace, squinting at the inscription. The bricklayer, my hero, your lines straight and true, jack of all trades, master of none, I am proud to be your son. Gregor stepped back, awed. He honored him not as a king, but as a father. Exactly, Alden said, smiling. Rick gave him the throne, but Joe gave him immortality. This fireplace isn't just stone. It's a symbol of their bond, a reminder that no matter how high Richard rose, he never forgot where he came from, or the sons who helped him build his legacy. The two knights sat in silence for a moment, the firelight dancing in their eyes. Finally, Gregor spoke. A king who was a mason and sons who honored him in their own ways. That's a tale worth telling. And a kingdom worth serving, Alden added, raising his mug, to King Richard and his sons. Gregor raised his own in reply, to the bricklayer and his legacy.
Well, that's in no way a retelling of my family's life or anything like that. It's just a fun story, But I'd like to see my dad's legacy be appreciated. That's a real thing. But what is a fantasy there is that I didn't take after my dad completely. I didn't become a bricklayer after him because in real life he is a bricklayer. But I am very proud of everything that he's built. And I have no idea the extent of everything that he's built. But I want him to know that I love him a lot. And I hope he enjoyed this story. I hope everybody enjoyed this story. So this has been Joseph Arthur Roszell, thanking you for watching, and good luck out there. I love you.